Nigerians have welcomed the lifting of some of the sanctions that were imposed on the country by ECOWAS following last year's coup. The sanctions have hit Niger hard, with the extreme poverty rate exceeding 40%. That's according to the World Bank.
Everyone is very pleased with the lifting of the embargo. For us, it's like a celebration. Everything will return to normal. Supplies will come in, the poor and the rich will be able to eat, and we can assist the most vulnerable. The month of Ramadan is approaching in mid-March, and if product prices drop, everyone should be able to feed their family. Therefore, this is excellent news, and we thank Allah.
The lifting of sanctions does not exclude, in fact, mistrust. This is a motivation, I think, for all Nigerians to really work in harmony with our allies, who have been a bit strict with us, but since they have returned to better sentiments, I believe it means that we should, in fact, forgive each other.
Well, here's our correspondent Gary Amadou in Niger's capital, Niamey, with more on the country's response to the bloc's decision.
The sanctions impacted a lot on people's life because the price of basic necessities has, let's say, increased, and people were just surviving sanctions. They are surviving sanctions because they cannot buy anything. They do not have they do not have cash on banks. So the fact that ECOWAS decided to lift the sanctions create a new hope for people. So people think that opening borders. We know that the borders of Nigeria and Benin are the two main borders through which goods can come from abroad to Niger. So they hope that the opening of borders will create a new situation in which people can now have, let's say, the good perspective about the future. We do not have any information about what military authorities will decide. What we know is that a day before the Abuja meeting, the first negotiator of ECOWAS, who is the president of Togo for Nyasembe Adama, he was in Niamey. He met military authorities and they discussed about maybe the conditions needed by ECOWAS to lift the sanctions. So according to some opinions, the junta will free President Bazoum and his wife, but he will be, let's say, not in prison, but he will be protected in his home. And now we are waiting to see what the yesterday meeting of National Council of Military, what they decided in the case of President Bazoum. But currently, the moment I'm talking to you, President Bazoum is still not free. But we consider that if ECOWAS decided to lift the sanctions, that means that they have guarantees that maybe the President Bazoum will be free.